Hello once again to another edition of Overall with me, Andrew Jones, on the Believe Network. And I had the pleasure of covering the 2023 Millrose Games at the historic Armory venue in Washington Heights, Manhattan. Enjoy my coverage with some of track and field's biggest stars at one of its greatest meets. In order are interviews with Noah Lyles, Christian Coleman, Abby Steiner, as well as Ryan Crouser, Shamier Little, and to close it out with Josephus Lyles. Enjoy these interviews. But it was still good though, man, because it added towards the Maria Taylor thing and how you keep on growing and doing your thing for the sport, man.
Appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it.
Damn, like how did the Eugene World Championship gun come over here today? Because what was with that with the whole gun over there? Why were they acting like that in terms of that?
Hey, bro. I mean, they caught me having a flinch. My feet never left the block, but it counts. I just ran over under protest, which you can only do in the U.S. So I'm glad we were in the United States, and I was just here for the race. I'm just here to get better. So any race I can do with competition, that's what I'm here for.
You really become, man, a world-class 16-meter runner this season, man.
Thank you.
And it just sets up for the bigger picture of the 100. Like, do you really feel that way in terms of like, wow, I'm really refining myself where I can do what I did in the 2 with the 1 and 2 this year?
No, it really makes me excited for the 100 because if you look at my times in the 100, they'll probably be around, maybe 6.59. So if I'm bringing 6.53, 6.51 to my hundreds, that increases my top end speed earlier. That gets me up to, a longer, basically top end phase, which makes the race way faster.
Yeah, man. And speaking of rocking in style, last week in the whole Sub-Zero in Boston, you came through
Negative
with the
6,
whole,
man. Negative 6 degrees.
I mean, you bought. That's why you were rewarded with the weather this week, man, with the 50-60 in terms of the degrees for the 50-60. But how was it dealing with that last week and how you still was able to run so great last week, man?
Hey, man, we all got to run in it, and we all got to move through it. So I was just there to work on my first 10 meters and then my next 10 meters. So after I knew I was getting that momentum in the first round and, I saw vulnerability, I'm like, I'm going to go for the kill.
No doubt, man. Final one I got to ask you because already best half-lap sprinter in the world with this. #1 in those rankings. But right now, for the top 3 anime in 2023 at the moment, because we had these talks about this, at the moment, who's the top 3 at the moment in terms of shows for you, sir, in the anime rankings of Noah Lyles?
Okay, so far, Attack on Titan is due to air anytime, and it's definitely been doing its thing. This should be the last season. I'm super excited about that. What else has been coming out that I've been watching? My girl has been rewatching Fairy Tail, so I already read it, so I'm watching it with her, and I'm just laughing at how funny it used to be.
Yes, it is, man.
Shoot, I don't know if I have a third one that I've been really looking at that much.
Not Deathstroke or another.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, My Hero's been doing it for me. They've been going killer with this season, and I've really been feeling it. It's been getting me excited.
No doubt. Well, we getting excited about how you shining, man, doing your thing in the straight line with the curve. This man he's going another level, y'all. He's going another level right here. We're here with the 16-meter Don, Christian Coleman, another standout run, another record performance with that. You feel that's your best 60 that you ever started the season with? How you feel about that?
It's definitely a really good opener. I mean, I ran 2 weeks ago in Arkansas. It was the day after I ran a 200. And I don't know, I just didn't really execute it that well. I feel like it was just like a lack in focus because it was such a small meet. So I really kind of consider this like my opener. And I wanted to come out here and just really execute the things me and my coach been working on. I feel like I did that, but I mean, even the way that it felt pretty good, but I know it was some things that I could have done better. But I don't know, I mean, this would be it for indoors and just try to carry that momentum in outdoors. I think it'll be a really good season, so I'm excited about it, man.
And for the outdoors, with how this is a great platform for you and getting the 60 out the way, what for you is going to be the outdoor start for you in the schedule if you haven't finalized yet?
Not finalized yet. I mean, a lot of pros, we like to go to like either Florida relays or Texas relays and kind of just start the season off with like some relays or maybe some events that we don't typically get a chance to do. So I think I'll be in Texas for that. get the wheels turning a little bit, get some good weather, and then by then we'll kind of have a plan, going into April and May. So I'm not exactly sure yet. But I'll definitely have some 200s in the schedule, and of course some hundreds, and it should be pretty good, man. I'm excited, but the whole goal is to make that team and try to go and get some more medals.
Are you glad you didn't have to deal with that 0-degree weather in Boston last week, and it's 50, 60 here? You brought the 50, 60 here, brother.
Absolutely, man. I feel like we brought the heat to New York,
yeah.
And so I was really excited when I looked at the forecast and seen it was not going to be snow on the ground like it was last year.
Yeah.
So I'm from the South. I like when it's hot outside. So. It was some good weather up here this weekend.
One more thing, Super Bowl tomorrow. I don't know if you're going to watch anything, but
of course I'm going to watch.
Who you got is that tomorrow?
Man, I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I want him to succeed, man. I like A.J. Brown, too.
Yeah.
I like that duo. Their defense is nasty. I think they're going to come out with a victory, but, I mean, you can never count out Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's a superstar. He's the best quarterback I ever seen, and it's going to be a good game. I'm excited for a good game. I like guys on both sides, but if I had to pick, I would say the Eagles going to pull out the victory.
Double C, appreciate you, man. You won the realest always. You know we got to hold you down, NYC, brother.
Absolutely.
Got you, brother. Definitely.
Yeah.
Congrats on the Bowman, by the way,
Thank
in terms of
you.
you getting that. How would Mabel feel about that race at home? So what you
Did you say how Mabel?
Yes, how would she feel
Oh my
about
gosh.
it?
Okay. Well, this is kind of a funny side story, but so she's boarding right now because I'm not home, so she has to go to like an overnight doggy place to stay. And they give her like report cards, so I signed up for them to like keep me updated.
Yeah.
And they told me that Mabel is the fastest one at doggy daycare, and she's been winning the races.
Oh my goodness.
I think she'd be proud of her mom. I'm proud of her for doing her thing over there.
So you have a future world champ not only yourself, but in Mabel right there.
Yeah.
That's your trainer.
I don't know if she can run in a straight line. She's a little crazy, but if we train her, maybe she might be able to.
Besides that time with Mabel in terms of the off season, what for you was the being able to just relax and just get your mind in terms of how as incredible last year was, and then being able just to get your mind off for 2023 there?
Yeah, I think for me the most important thing was like shutting it down completely after Worlds. I was having a bit of a hard time mentally just because like you go from high competition to high competition to high competition amidst figuring out all these other life decisions like going pro and all that stuff. So for me it was important just after Worlds to recognize that for myself. And I took like 6-7 weeks completely off, which I've actually never done because I'm not good with taking time off. I always feel like I need to be doing something. But for me, I really just like took it off, didn't do anything besides I rescued Mabel. So just allowing myself to kind of like step back from it so I could kind of get that fire to get back to training. And then recognizing when that was back and just getting after it was really important for me.
And speaking of that fire, in terms of this Armory crowd here and being able to run in this atmosphere, just your full feelings of that and how that got you down the stretch past Brittany and getting that win today and setting a AR right there.
Yeah, super special. I think it's just really energizing when you can hear those people throughout the entire race. And that being a 300. Sometimes I don't hear the crowd as much in the shorter stuff, but you can definitely hear them on that back stretch. Yeah. So it just gives you a little bit more energy coming home. Making it exciting, knowing the crowd's cheering you on.
And you already got that New York victory there with that. Is there anything in New York that now you would want to do before you leave out? And any favorite thing you like to do here in the Big Apple, Abby Steiner?
I went and explored the Museum of Modern Art yesterday with my parents, so that was fun. I know, like, last time I was here in September, I went to the 9/11 museum, Ground Zero, so I think just kind of, I like exploring what New York has to offer. It's obviously very different from Lexington, so kind of hitting those historical monuments when I can. But as for tonight, I'm just gonna go eat a big steak dinner with my parents and call it a night.
No doubt. I recommend the Color Factory, and with the weather not being like Boston last week,
Yeah.
Highline. You will love the Highline.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yep, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yep. This incredible sir right here. First, we gotta talk about the incredible latest hat that you have on.
Thank you.
Is that one of your favorite hats right there, or your most favorite hat, or do you have another one that you?
Yeah, I'd say this one's my most favorite. So this one's my favorite, and yeah, bring it up to New York.
Just the whole atmosphere growing here in New York again, and in the Armory. How did you feel the atmosphere was today, and just your overall vibe whenever you come here?
Yeah, no, I really like throwing here. It's awesome when they put a shot on the infield like they did today. Put us front and center, and so The atmosphere was really, really solid. Performance was good. I was happy. It's my second best opener ever, so really, really happy with the start to this season. And yeah, training's going well, so I'm excited for this year.
And that's the thing, because you're already really best shot with all time, really, with that. This is something where how many more years you want to keep this going, man? Because you're happy doing this, you love doing this. How long you want to keep this going, Ron?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to go for sure through 2024, next Olympics, and then 2028 is really, really calling to me with the Olympics being in LA. So that's probably 2028 is probably when I'll hang them up.
Just want to interview you about that, because that was something for you to be running an event that you don't normally run all that much. How was just that whole experience of getting that in there, and how you were right there at the end with Audrey?
It was definitely fun, especially to do it on a world indoor tour stage. I had a lot of fun. I haven't been here in a while. The atmosphere is great. My mom got to come in town. I got to see friends. So, I'm having a pretty good weekend.
You had a Chi-Town representative shout you out over there all the way.
Oh, yes. That was one of the summer league track coaches that I was with when my mom, they basically babysat me and took me in as their own. And he was one of the...
When's the last time you've been here, if you can remember?
2011, I was in high school. I was running 60 hurdles.
Yeah. I was saying, because I was trying to remember the last time and I never remember you running professionally like that.
I came here pandemic year with Janique, because she was my training partner.
Yeah.
And now I was here 2020, but I didn't run, but I last competed before 2012.
Yeah. How you love the atmosphere, the whole
I love it. I love the armory. I love track and field. I love a real intimate track where everybody is just kind of here all around. I love it.
Do we need one in Chicago, indoors in Chicago at the very least like this?
We do. They just built a wonderful facility up there at Gately.
Yeah.
I've been up there a couple of times just to look around. I'm like, okay, y'all, when we going to have some meets there so I can compete?
No doubt about it. And by the way, shout out to the wonderful brown style with it in the floor and everything. How long you keep it in the brown all the way right there?
I've been doing, this is copper. I've been doing it for about a month. I like this color. I did the blonde. I'm kind of going through all my colors, trying to find my right color, and this one it's sticking with me.
No doubt. What's the rest of any more indoors for you, or is it going to be something where, even with National going to Europe, you're going to think about outdoors now? What's on your mind with that?
I got to go back and talk to my coach. I think I have one more indoor meet back at Fayetteville, which is my home track where I train. And then after that, we're focusing on outdoor.
No doubt. And one more thing I got to ask you. Candace Parker went and left and went to the Vegas Aces, WNBA, and left the sky and whatnot. How you feel about that in terms of that in WNBA or anything like that in regards to that and everything?
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do in your best interest. She's a legend in the sport, and listen, more power to her. Make that decision for you. I can't talk no trash because I done traded teams my dang self, so.
Yeah. Well, you Chi-Town legend in your own right there, Shamier. Appreciate you. God bless the rest of the way of the season right there. Yo, that was so great. That was good. That was a great on-the-turf session. Yep. Joe, you're my interview man, because I talked to your brother again and asked him his top 3 anime, but I forget in terms of
anime.
In terms of the 2023 rankings right now. I was gonna ask him, but I was gonna ask you about just your whole race and then the form you're showing, man. You really just like your brother emerging in the whole straight lines, man. How you feel about just everything in terms of the whole entire form and just what you're doing right now?
I think 2021, I remember coming up to my coach and I told him I don't want to run the 4 anymore. I used to run the 400. And when I signed to Adidas, it was for the 400. And he was like, okay, well, I'll train you to kind of do, a mix of everything, 400, 200, 100. And we'll see where you go from there. And just now where I'm at compared to where I was then, where my PR was 20.3 in the 200 and my PR in the 100 was 10.5, and now being a 92-second 200 runner to being a 10.5 100 runner, being able to hang with the best in the 60s and stuff like that, it means a lot, and I'm very proud of what I've done. But at the same time, I have so much more to do. I think the good thing about track is there's always a bigger fish. Even if you're the biggest fish, you can always go faster. So right now, I'm still not getting first, so I still have a lot more work to do.
And yet you're making those strides, man. You continue to grow with that, having that enthusiasm that you have in this way, being able to be and like even get your brother and a few other runners in the whole 60, man. So that's the thing. Are you gonna go to indoors nationals for the 60, or is it gonna be something where you're still thinking about how you finish the indoor season before outdoors?
Yeah. So definitely going to the indoor nationals for the 60. You know, it's funny because my coach comes into these races and he's like, you know, I want you guys to race. Like there's no substitute for racing in practice. Like having those 8 guys right next to you, getting all that adrenaline, you can't get that in practice. So he's like, I want you guys to race. I want you guys to feel that. It's the best training. So going to the race, you know, I just feel like this, I want all the smoke. That's how we talk in practice. It's just, I want all the smoke. Anytime we can line up, it doesn't matter if it's with college kids, with the best in the world record holders, whatever. It's like, just put me in the smoke. Let me do what I do. Yeah. So that's the vibe for pretty much every race I'm in. Just put me in the smoke.
And then you just saw, you know, in that race just now, and I think it was either the college guy or like the high school guy put his hand up and all that, and just seeing the savvy with that. First, can you just talk about that whole moment with your brother in terms of that whole gun, acting like a Eugene World Championships gun, and how that was? Like, what was your whole thoughts on that right there?
Okay, so it's funny because every time that we got called up, I had no clue why we got called up. I was just like, I'm ready to go. So just reset, get back in the zone, get ready to go. But I don't remember what the second part of your question was. I didn't really hear it, but
yeah, no problem, man. I mean, they were loving the distance running so much here. It was just like how he was dealing with that at the line, and just like the whole atmosphere. Everybody wanted to see y'all run and stuff, and then it's just the phantom gun that we saw like in Eugene, and then sometimes here. Just your whole thoughts about that, and how if it needs full evaluation towards the sensitivities of the gun towards y'all.
You know, I'm not too sure about the rule of, you know, bringing down the reaction time. The reaction time is in place. I don't know exactly what time it should be. Maybe bring it down to 0.75 or 0.075 instead of 0.10 potentially. But I think what's more needed is when a false start does happen, just one to the field. I know in the past, there was, like in the 90s and early 2000s, there were a lot of times where 100 runners especially would get into the race, they false start on purpose to kind of throw their competitors off. And I don't think that should come back. But I do think that there needs to be a one false start charge to the field anytime there's a false start. Because putting that much pressure on guys who are literally lined up next to each other, literally your fingers are almost touching someone else's fingers. You're on the line. So maybe giving a little leeway to the sprinters. Maybe not one and done. One charge to the field.
That's it for this episode of Overall, hosted by me, Andrew Jones, on the Believe Network. But stay tuned, because the next episode is coming soon. Until then, God bless, stay well, take care, and I'm out. 5,000. Clutch, 23 Jordan. Clutch, championship occasions.